Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I created this orangey eyeshadow with the dark red lip. So if you want to see how I did this look, please keep on watching. So before, I'm going to be putting the times on the screen like when I start doing different parts of my makeup. So if you were just looking for a specific part, I'll put it on the screen. So I started off with some eyelid primer. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish eye primer, and I'm just dabbing that on my eye, and I'm gonna set it with a light shade from the 35O Morphe palette, and I'm just putting that all over my lid. For my crease, I'm using that caramel color as my transition color. Transition eyeshadow, transition color, same thing. And I'm just basically like wiper motions on my eyelid. And now I'm just getting a fluffy brush to blend all that out. Now I'm going in with that maroon orangey color and darkening up the outer corners. And I keep going back to that dark maroon color just to darken up the outer corners as much as I want. And now with the blending brush, I'm just going back in to blend the darker color into my transition color. And as you can see, I went back into that deeper color, and now I'm just blending that out again. Now after that, I'm just going back in and bringing that color to the inner corner. And blending is a major key. Now back into that same eyeshadow, I'm using a flat shader brush to pack that eyeshadow on, and that's going to be my main color on my lid. Now with that metallic orange eyeshadow, I'm using that on the inner third of my eyelid. Now to deepen up the crease, I'm going into that dark brown and just basically putting it on the outer corners of my eye, and I'm also putting it on the crease of my lid. And once again, blend it all out. So now I'm just getting a makeup wipe and just cleaning up the edge of my eyeshadow. You could do this prior to even starting by putting a piece of tape on there, but I couldn't find my tape and I was too lazy to go in search of it. So yeah, just clean it up with the makeup wipe. I have already moisturized, so for my face I'm using the Too Faced Hangover Primer, and I'm putting that all over. Except on my nose, I'm putting the Makeup Forever Smoothing Primer because I have big pores on my nose, so I have to make sure I put a good primer on there to cover up all those pores. So for foundation, I'm using my Estee Lauder foundation mixed with my L'Oreal True Match Lumi because I'm very dry and I have sensitive skin, so I have to stick to what I know that works for me. So I'm using the Lumi because it's putting back like that hydration into my face, and the Estee Lauder I love. So yeah, just mixing that to make the right color for me to match my neck. Obviously my forehead is tanner because that's where the sun hits you the most. So after I use a brush, I like to go in with my Real Technique sponge, damp sponge, and just tap all that foundation into my skin. And as you can see, my face is luminous. So for concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me concealer, and I'm just putting that under my eyes, on my chin, and on my forehead. And I'm blending that in with the sponge. And now I'm just using this Sonia Kashuk highlighter stick, and I'm just dabbing that on, but you could obviously use it with your fingers and then apply it on your cheeks. But you know what? I was like, YOLO! Let's do this real quick. So after I put that highlight on, I like to dab it on my skin with a sponge, so it like blends in into my foundation. And now I'm gonna bake my under eye with the L'Oreal Mercier powder. And first, I like to put some like at the, what is it called? At the edges of my nose, right there, because like I said, I have large pores on my nose, but that's where I get oily, like right there on the sides of my nose. So I make sure I put some there. Under the eye, I put some just because, you know, but I don't really leave it on there like that much to bake, but I just put some on there. And then with whatever's left on my sponge, I'm gonna powder with my sponge wherever I put concealer. So whatever's on the sponge, and then I go in and then just tap some powder with the sponge on my forehead. So to powder my nose, I like to use the e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm just tapping some of that powder on my nose, and I'll swipe all the powder that's left on my face off. Like I've said before, I have dry skin. However, I do powder my face. I like to use the Rimmel Stay Matte powder because that powder doesn't work as matte on me. So that works fine for my face. Now for my brows, I'm using this eyebrow wax and eyebrow powder, which is from Ulta. It was like a bundle trio thing, and I just took it out of the packet and just put it on my C palette. So I spoolie my eyebrow hair, then put on wax, and now with the eyebrow powder, I'm outlining the bottom of it. Later on, you'll see me outline the top and then just like fill it in. The last part of that I do is the front, because I use whatever's left on the brush and just stroke up with the brush. To bronze my face, I'm using the Anastasia contour kit, and I'm using those two shades at the bottom, and I'm just putting that on where my contour would go, and I later blend it out. I'm going for a pink peachy blush today, and that one's from e.l.f. And I'm just applying that with the Sonia Kashuk brush, and that's it for blush. Now for my highlight, I'm gonna be using the Balm Mary Luminizer, and I'm gonna be applying that to the high points of my cheeks, to my nose, and to my cupid's bow. There's nothing left for me to do than run and act myself a fool. No point in trusting anyone. Your eyes of diamonds keep me up. Never thought that it could be this rough. No point in trusting anyone. And of course, blend all that out with an e.l.f. large stippling brush. My favorite, love it. Now going back to the eyes, I'm going back into that maroon berry shade and smoking out my lower lash line. And now back into that brown chocolate shade to darken up the lower outer corner. And now I'm just blending the outer corner out. I'm going back into that white shade again. That's the same eyeshadow that I used to set my eyes. So I'm just using that on the arch of my brow just to highlight under there. I went ahead and curled my lashes, put on lashes, and did my eyeliner. Now I'm going on with my lips, and I'm using the e.l.f. Wine Lip Pencil. And over that, I'm using Kathleen Light's Havana Nights by Ofra. And that completes the look. I hope you guys liked this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.